Welcome to Midday on this Thursday. Our first guest joining us, Mark Bertoli of Abbott Wealth Management. Of course, checking in with him, everything to do with financial needs, right?
Right. Well, we're always talking about the markets and investing and tips like that. But, you know, why do we do that?
Right.
Because we want to
retire.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about retirement. And sort of what people need to know, I guess, leading up to retirement, and if they're,
So I guess our goal is to beat inflation with our investments and have a dollar worth more in the future than it is today, so that we can save it for a rainy day.
Okay.
So I put together a couple of slides just to guide us along the path here.
Yeah, let's put up the first one.
About why we're doing that. So
there we go.
Here's interesting. You know, if I say 2020, that sounds like a long time away, right?
I know, yeah.
It's 3 years.
And really, yeah, exactly. And how fast does time fly, right?
1 in 5 Canadians will be retired by 2020.
Okay.
And 2030, a quarter of our population will be retired. So we invest today to get ready for that time and period in our life.
Right. You want to be proactive, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's go to the next slide really quickly. Some statistics about what happens. You know, we all plan, but 46% of retirees plan to retire, and they retire as they plan. So 48 retire earlier. So that initially sounds like really good news.
Yeah.
But it's due to circumstances beyond their control.
Okay, and what do you mean by that?
So a company is downsizing and offering packages to people and things like that. So those are some of the considerations.
Okay. So would people like that be in that financial position, in a good financial position necessarily
sometimes
to retire?
not.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the importance of planning and having a little bit of a contingency plan.
Okay.
And then 6% retire later due to circumstances beyond their control.
Okay.
So we went through the 2008 financial crisis. There was clients that said, you know what, we've taken a bit of a hit of our portfolio. Let's work another year and let it come back so that we can retire the way we plan to retire. So those are things, again, circumstances beyond your control.
Or, like we were just saying right before the segment, some people love what they do and don't want to retire at 65 or whatever age you were hoping to do so.
So the next thing is, what do we do? So things to get in order.
Okay.
So debt. So one of the first things you should do is eliminate debt.
Okay.
Okay. The next thing is define your lifestyle. You're going to have different requirements if you plan to fly to Europe twice a year and spend the winter in Maui than you do perhaps spending time in Comox in the winter, or Victoria. And I know a lot of people who do that.
Yeah.
And touring around our beautiful country.
Right.
Sometimes, and you have to also look at vacation properties, travel. You have to factor in your expenses. Here's something we know. If you're a saver in life, you're a saver in retirement. Okay, so that's a big one. If you spend a lot of money in life, you better plan on saving more money, because you're not going to flip a switch.
Right.
You're going to have more time in retirement
to spend that money.
That's right.
Exactly.
So if we can go back to the thing, to the screen.
There were a few more points on that slide, so we'll just pop that last one up for you again.
We were also talking family health history. So a couple things. Do you have longevity in your genes?
Okay.
And also, if there is a health issue, perhaps you are going to travel and spend time in Victoria and Canada rather than the huge expense for health insurance when you leave the country.
Right.
Okay, so that becomes income integration and tax efficiency. If you own a company, working with your advisor and your accounting team to minimize tax in the future. And then the last thing to talk about is efficient transfers of wealth. That's huge. You take a gentleman who bought 30 years ago on the shoe swap for $100,000 and their place is worth $2 million.
Right.
You know, or $2.1 million. So you'd have a $2 million asset growth. You're going to have a $1 million capital gains tax to pay. So you could end up with a tax bill north of $500,000. So you want to plan for that so that you don't force the next generation to sell assets to do that sort of thing. So there's a lot of reasons we invest, and there's a lot of planning we can do today to make that a lot better.
Yeah, and that it really comes down to the word planning, I guess, right?
It
planning
does.
for your future.
Yeah.
And I mean, what would you suggest, Mark? How young do you start doing that?
The younger, the better.
Okay.
Yeah. You should be well on your way to retirement,
for my
right?
own needs here.
Yeah. It just gives you more options. You have the power of compounding
Yeah.
interest and growth on your side. So.
Okay. I know we're heading into Thanksgiving weekend, and you wanted to chat a little bit about Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah. So if we could bring up that last slide, that'd be great. You know, and we around our office, this is a great time of year. Our motto is "We appreciate." So what's really neat is statistically, if you spend time in gratitude and appreciation, 5 minutes a day, it's statistically proven that it will improve the well-being of your life in the long term by 10%.
5 minutes, that's all you need.
5 minutes a day to appreciate what's going on around you. Thanksgiving's a great time. Families get together.
Absolutely.
Sit down one morning and have a coffee and just think about how lucky we are to live in this community. Our friends here, low crime, our kids can do things. You know, there's a lot to be grateful for in Kamloops.
That's fantastic advice.
And what a great group of people.
Yeah, we are certainly lucky.
We
so
are.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks for being here as always. Lots of good advice. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Yes. AbbottWealth.com. You can check out more information or find out more and contact Mark. And we'll be right back on Midday after a break. Stay with us.